Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Rosnu Shafiq bin Rosni. Today, my members and I will present about the rise and fall of the management accounting. So, first of all, the introduction for the article review is about the management accounting system is the incapable of supplying accurate products costs. So, it means operating managers aiming to reduce expenses and enhance productivity will find management accounting report of little use. The effort frequently reduce productivity because they demand operating managers to spend time attempting to analyze and justify reported deviation that have little to do with the economic and technological reality of the operation. Management accounting systems either may not give timely and detailed information on process efficiency, or they focus too narrowly on input such as direct labors that are relatively minor into this matching context. As a result, the system that allows fails to give managers with essential information, but to also distract them from detecting critical aspects important for production efficiencies. The management ecosystems is incapable of supplying accurate product costs. Okay, next, the opportunity. So, information can be recorded in the real time for analysis of operating performance. Next, timely and relevant managerial performance. And the third, automated parts recognition and tracking system. And lastly, what we have in the modern day might be too costly back in 1987, which is technology system. So next, the challenge. So the real challenge is to make sure the managers can understand the relevance of their systems and be more aware or bypass it by developing personalized information system. Next, danger might lurk if managers do not recognize the inadequacies in their management accounting systems and erroneously rely on its manager control information and product decision. So next, the management accounting rules. So the first is about the transaction occur in the market and measure of a success was easily obtained. It also need to collect more cash for sales to customer. Next, also hire workers on a long-term basis and risk of continuous spot contracting. And so, the measure was simple but seemed to serve well the needs. And the measure was simply but seemed to serve well the needs. So next, perhaps the best example of a management accounting system could be found in the railroad corporation on the mid-19th century. New procedures were invented just to control and disbursement. Operational ratio was developed both to measure the profitability. The measured costs include labor, material, and involve some attribution of overhead costs, rates, advanced in transportation and communication, especially in the invention of the railroad and the telegraph. Other than that, the retail store chains required information on the effectiveness and the efficiency. So the measures were designed to motivate and evaluate. The measures such as the gross profit and inventory stocks then were created. Final development in the management accounting system occurred in the early decades. The management accounting information was developed to expedite the management of process of the type industries. So, the most important and enduring management accounting invention was return on investment (ROI) measure. So, Donald Brown decomposed the ROI measure into its component and demonstrates. So, the division managers were responsible for the profitability and the returns on capital. So, the central manager were to support and provide capital. So the ROI measure played a key role in the promoting this internal market. So next is about the lost relevance. So innovation stops in 1920s. So the management accounting practice developed in 1925. So they serve informational and control needs of the managers, and the diversity of the products and technologies still increase. Next, it's not relevant because the dominance of the external and the professional reporting also focus on auditing, and they don't see needs of the management accounting system. Okay, next about the academic-led astray. So, blame researcher because fails to notice the gross management accounting system because they never experiment on the real world. Many companies don't care about the importance of the management accounting system and focus narrowly on a simplified model because they believe in the numbers of the profits. So, in accounting for caravan, it is not a new phenomenon because it returned to the 15th century and the publication of perhaps the original accounting books by Fray Pacoli. We can ask that what kinds of events were occurring that led to a demand for accounting information. Next, arguing that it is meaningless to allocate project property to short time period within the life of a project does not imply that belief in the fruitless to attempt to obtain the valuable indicators of short-term progress. Next, the accountant subtract the cost of the caravan and the cost of acquiring the initial loads of merchandise. So next, it's about this was a worst world rules for accounting which is not compute the overall profitability of the ventures and to distribute the net profits among the initial investor. So there are many potential useful indicators of the caravan manager performance during the third quarter 1487, but quarterly profit is not one of them. Lastly, and given the current competitive technology environment, there are probably many better indicators of a company's short-term performance than in its quarterly earnings. So, during the innovations should be designed to support the operation and the strategy of the organization to implement system radically different from those being used today. And the third one is to developing the new concept for designing relevant management accounting system. So, for the conclusion, management accounting focus on the static environment. Second, the researchers are diving in now to develop better management accounting principles to make it relevant again, but must be able to alter the business method to the changing constraints. And lastly, management accounting is a pioneer in the standard of accounting industry. That's all. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera. My name is Muhammad Aiman bin Asimul Ashari. My student ID is AC0107731. I'm gonna talk about the article The Rise and Fall of the Management Accounting by four authors: Nish is Johnson, H. Thomas, Kaplan, and Roberts. So I'm gonna start with introduction first. On the first point in the introduction is that management accounting reports are little help to operating managers attempting to reduce costs and improve productivity. Secondly, costs get distributed to the product by simplistic measure, usually direct labor based that do not represent demands by each other products on the firm resource. These methods systemically bias and distort product costs at the individual product level. Managers horizon contracts to the short-term cycle, their monthly profit and loss statement. Financially, accounting treats many cash outlays as spent on of the periods in which they are made. And lastly, for the introduction points, short-term profit pressures can lead to a decrease in investment for the long run. So we go to the next point. Niche is the challenge. An organization management accounting must be provide timely and accurate information to facilitate effort to control costs, measure and improve productivity. and to devise the improved production process. The second point for the challenge is an effective management accounting system can undermine even the best effort in the product development, product improvement, and the marketing policy. So we go to the next, which is lost relevance. By 1925, virtual all management accounting practice that are practiced today had been developed. Understanding their roots will be management accountants understand the condition that make particular system relevant. As answer require them to know one has been before. There are a number of problems that arise from the failure management accounting system. No multi-product organization today knows the cost of each product. It should not take the genius to recognize that perhaps new system for measuring product and motivating performance may be called for. There are a number of problems that arise from the failure of the management accounting system, misdirect marketing efforts that result from poor information about the profitability of the company, diverse product. No multi-product organization today knows that the cost of the product is by the say of Kaplan's. So we're gonna talk about the academic led astray. Academic will led astray by focusing too narrow on the simplified model of the firm behavior of the say. Innovative Japanese company are now stressing time rather than cost as the key metric for success in their production and distribution network. This could be profound change for the US management accountants. We don't think that the financial accounting for the measuring periodic profits was ever designed to measure a firm's wide performance during short time periods. If we can get this point generally accepted, perhaps the pressure to the measure all performance through a measure by the financial accountant will be lessened. A proper management accounting system must be designed to answer that question. Traditionally, financial measures such as earning and accounting or ROI are not longer useful measures of corporate performance. Instead, the system should reveal whether an organization conducts its internal economic activity more efficiently than an unaided markets exchange. So for the accounting for caravans, the first point is undoubtedly merchants in Venice were trading goods with the other countries, arguing that it's meaningless to allocate project profitability to short time periods within the life of the project does not imply that we believe fruitless of a project does not imply that we believe plus attempt to obtain the valuable indicator short-term progress. Returning to our Venetian expedition, there are probably many measures of the caravan performance during the third quarter of 1487 century that our investor would be interested in knowing. There are many potential useful indicators that caravan manages performance during the third quarter of 1487. However, the quarterly profit are not one of them. For the net innovation points that I can simplify, all the modern businessmen can see is the challenge and the opportunity in present management system can should be tailored to facilitate the goals of the business. In other words, we have the means to implement complete new system as opposed to tweaking the one we have now. What is missing is information. What what is missing is information, however, can be gleaned through interaction and experimentation. Creative managers and academic researchers committed to believing new concept designing relevant main accounting system can reclaim the pioneering spirits that characterized the early days of scientific management movement a century ago. So, last but not least, conclusion. accounting for management in analysis and recording of financial information that can put to use its help of the boost efficiency and productivity. That's all from me. Thank you.